Guys, back here once again. So, man, I was gonna leave this for the next following day or two later, but I wanted to talk about this trade. I wanted to talk more about the whole Luka Doncic, Dallas Mavericks and Lakers trade. But here was some more interesting news as the trade continues to haunt the Mavericks as Kyrie Irving's injury exposes the worst case scenario. So you hate to talk this way about a torn ACL, but Dallas has almost asked for this to happen. So Kyrie Irving torn his ACL on Monday night. While nobody would ever wish that kind of injury, any kind of injury, of a player or an organization, it is possible not to recognize the seemingly cosmic brand of poetic justice that has been going down in Dallas since the dumbest trade in NBA history. Hate to say it, but But when you trade a 25-year-old Luka Doncic for a 31-year-old Anthony Davis, you're asking for bad things to happen. As the man and man, are bad things happening to the Dallas Mavericks as Anthony Davis, 31 minutes to his first game with the team, and have now lost Irving for the remainder of the season and probably at least for the first few months of next season. Irving's about to turn 33 by the time Dallas plays his second game with the team, which might well not be until next season, since that there doesn't seem to be much point to bringing him back this season. He'll be 32, and we know about the injury history of Davis, who has now gone through 7 absences and at least 10 consecutive games over the last 7 seasons, and now Irving will be trying to come back from a major injury to the same knee that got so infected from the screws he had put in for a fractured kneecap that he had have to have another surgery to have them taken out. Nobody would ever wants to dwell on the worst case scenario at the point it entirely informs your decision making. But when you are making moves such as crazy as trading a once in a lifetime player, you have to plan for from at least a reasonably pessimistic point. You have to look at the worst case scenario and still be okay with making a move that scenario that the scenario will play out. Otherwise, you're just playing roulette. And which is to say that the Mavericks must start crying the bad injury luck blues, which Jason Kidd's already started doing Monday night, and the others are sure to do in the aftermath of the Irving news. Don't listen to it. Dallas asked for this. Nico Harrison, the owner's kid, who ever even had a fingertip on hand in the decision to dump Doncic, is knowingly tinkering as with the wires of the nuclear bomb. Don't act surprised when it goes off. And make no mistake, a nuclear outcome, I could see, I can already see the writing on the wall. The Mavericks talking themselves into tanking for a lottery pick that they can package for a trade for Kevin Durant this summer. Remember the last time Irving and Durant team up? That time was when Durant, and I remember that time when it was the Brooklyn Nets, and that was a horrible, horrible, horrible outcome. And the Nets talked themselves into the idea that they had a year to waste because when everyone finally got healthy, look out. The problem was with the Stars, Brooklyn, wished upon, never lined up, and the Mavericks aren't going to go either, and they really shrunk their margin for error to near zero trading Doncic, and not only did everything have to go right for that trade to register on the lower end of the disaster spectrum, but it had to go right immediately. And like this season, maybe next. That's just it. So overall, like with Irving and Davis on the wrong side of 30 and injury prone, they didn't and had the luxury on their side. They can't work significantly injuries into their equation. They still come out healthy on the back end, and they started the process on the back end, and it was already coming up against the clock, which struck midnight. Dallas is done. So just reading this and overall coming out of it, I had no idea about Kyrie Irving suffering the same torn his ACL Monday night and having surgery on the same kneecap, that kind of dwindled him during that season. I didn't know anything about that part. But having this injury from Kyrie Irving's perspective, I mean, from what we saw on Monday night, which I didn't see that game, but that kind of injury, an ACL injury, is hard to come back from in that certain time. And I would not, for the Mavericks' sake, I would not bring him back at all whatsoever. It's just too late at the end of the day. You're not gonna go far in the playoffs whatsoever. And then Anthony Davis has already missed 10 consecutive games. He's having known history of missing more than 25 to probably 30 games, throughout his career. He's not been fully healthy for, his career besides the last 3, 4 seasons, including the pandemic year when they won that championship with the Lakers. And they also won that end game, that tournament when he was with the Lakers. Um, and Kyrie Irving, to me, the injury history that he has, and he's on the wrong side, kind of just shows to me that the Mavericks and Nico Harrison did not think this through overall, to the point where I'm just really disappointed in the actions that was made by both front offices and the pettiness and the ignorance on both front offices. But I think the pettiness and the ignorance from both front offices, mainly Rob Pelinka and Nico Harrison, but mainly on Nico Harrison's part, um, kind of just shows me that he was not thinking clearly. He was not thinking properly at all whatsoever. And it just shows me that he is just an absolute maniac, just even making a trade like this, and especially in the middle of the season. When you make a trade, for a star player, for another star player, you do that in the off season. You do that in the off season when literally the NBA season is over with. You don't do this trade in the middle of the season, right when the trade deadline is happening before the All-Star break, because number one, the conditioning of guys, some guys can't really stay healthy, play a full 82 games because they don't have the right, I guess, training regimen, or, training staff, or the strength and conditioning coaches or whatever. They need to get better strength and conditioning coaches, for these guys, for these athletes who are rich, got millions and millions of dollars. I don't understand how you got this much injuries, and you supposed to have strength and conditioning coaches that's supposed to help you, get through the season. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And it doesn't make any sense that the front office, um, for Nico Harris, and with not only just the Mavericks, but Mark Cuban and Nico Harrison, just showed me that they're not really involved with they're not really in tune with how the roster is going to go from the future and beyond. I mean, because it just shows me that he wasn't thinking about anything but how much they really did not want to give Luka Doncic that supermax contract, that $340 million, and I think 4 or 5 year contract. They did not want to give him that kind of contract because they figured that he was worth that money, even though he did took him to the NBA Finals, had one of his best regular seasons, and was literally up for league MVP with Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic, with Joker, excuse me, with Joker and Joel Embiid, and just the fact of that matter, you cannot tell me, overall that we have not seen the best from both Luka Doncic, and we have not seen the best at some points from Kyrie. But I think the best has really come in with Anthony Davis. You're only going to get what you're going to get from him. You're like, yeah, he has the potential, but just overall, I just don't really see where they're going to go at this point and how they're going to really officially do it for the remaining and ongoing future. And to me, I just think that the Mavericks really got the eggshell on their face at this point. Their defense, especially, also, not even before I get to the point about their defense, they lost their talent right now, not having Derek Lively and Gafford right now. They're coming back off of injury, so they're kind of like, not on the same wavelength right now at this point. So, yeah, we're going to see what's going on, man. And before I go, please like and share and subscribe to the page. I got to get ready to get off of here in another about 5 to 10 minutes, man, because the phone's about to be dying. So, but yeah, man, I just want to say, for the ones who was watching this live stream, thank you very much for watching this live stream. again. I'm gonna continue to do more of these, um, just to try to ease the temperature. So I'm gonna talk about ease the ways for fans to come. Yeah, I'm gonna be talking about more than just the NBA and the NFL. We talk about more of just like what's going on in the what's going on for TV shows and everything on that nature. So yeah, man. What's going on, HD? What's going on, man? I'm just talking about this whole Kyrie Irving injury and everything, and how it's haunting the Mavericks right now as we speak. You know, I didn't even realize that this thing was happening right now, but yeah, I didn't realize about this injury until I just saw. But I gotta get on out of here because my phone is about to die, about to get on out of here, and I gotta get ready for work tomorrow. But yeah, man, thanks for watching. Um, Leave a like and share and subscribe to all the fans and all my subscribers watching. Thank you.